Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modeling tutorial. And today in this episode we're going to continue with our Ford GT, more specifically the headlight, which we made a little start on in the previous episode. So let's just jump back in. It looks like here I want to be just adjusting this a touch, just so that we're not protruding out of the actual glass. So maybe just take that down a little bit inside there. Let's go in and just select these here, and with that adjustment made, let's see if we can drop that in there. That side looks like it should probably be okay. Okay, so we're now sitting underneath. We are also underneath here as well, which isn't ideal. What we could do is let's maybe grab these, maybe this one as well, and let's see if we can just drop that down a touch. Just maybe something like that. We just want to see that inside area there, so we'll drop that down. Maybe just turn that back. Maybe for these ones here, we'll maybe bring these back up ever so slightly, like so. Okay, so I think let's go ahead and take all of these and isolate that selection. Let's actually take the other side too, because we're going to want to do the same with this as we did on this side here. But before we do, we could maybe get this finished and refined. So I think we're looking quite good. So let's maybe grab this section. Remember, we did separate these yesterday. We're going to hit 3, and we actually want this top bit to curve. I'm just looking here, and we do want a little bit of maybe curvature in here potentially. We're not going to make these headlights absolutely spot on, but we are going to give it a go. I'm going to go and use my multi-cut tool to map some edges there, and means I can take all of these ones and hold down Control and delete. I'm just gonna bring that back forward just a touch. That means now we'll get that whole side curving off rather than just the one. So that's looking okay. I'm just wanting to make sure everything else is okay before we do anything major. So here, for example, I'm not really liking that curve, so I'm going to bring that maybe up a touch. Okay, so what we could do here then is let's maybe start thinking about some edge loops for these. So when we hit 3, we can see that we're maintaining some nice curvature for the most part with these, but we do want to add in some extra loops. We also want to maybe grab every single edge for this and hit Control E, and I'm going to take that in a touch. I'm going to hit Control E and then take it in on that Z axis again. Maybe drop it down on the Y as well. Okay, that's just so that our corners will curve should we need them to. Okay, so let's go then and let's grab our insert edge loop, and let's maybe firstly just drop some edges around there, and we can hit 3, see how they flow. Okay, and we just want these to flow into this here. We don't want them to come away too close. When we do have the same material applied to them, it'll practically blend right in. So that's looking okay. Fairly happy with that. I think what we want is, I think we want to take this, I'm just going to pull that up. I'm going to do the same with this one as well. Leave that one down. So just do something like that. Okay. I think we want this one to have a bit more curve to it, so let's go and give that a bevel. Before we do this, actually, I'm going to go and just remove those extra edges that we've applied there, holding Control and holding Control and delete, because I think looking here, I actually want these to be up higher. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm actually going to grab these, hold down V, and then just pull straight sideways instead. I'm going to do this all the way around. Now as we get to the top here, we are going to want to pull on multiple axes just to help kind of facilitate that corner. So it might mean we need to pull down in some areas as well. Maybe just pull that back a touch. Okay, we'll do the same down here. If it will let me get that holding V, there we go. Okay, so I think that'll look better. I'm going to go and grab this. Let's have a go at beveling this again. I'm going to reduce that down. Maybe something like that will be okay. Just a 0.1. Maybe 0.2. We just wanted to keep a little bit of a line going through there, which we have now, which is good. We've got a couple quite close together at the top, so that's helping us maintain up there too. So maybe what we could do is let's go back and drop those in. We could maybe even drop one on this side too, just to make sure it's really nice and defined. Okay, so we can see that we've got a nice shape inside there. We do want to maintain the lines down here, so I'm going to go for an edge loop. I'm going to drop one here and here, because we do want to try and maintain those corners a little bit more, like so. But we do want a little bit of curve on this lower section, so what we'll do is we'll insert an edge loop just at the top here. So we can hit 3, so we've got like a little bit of a curve to that. That's looking good. I'm going to hit 3 on here. Let's maybe go and grab all the edges, if I can see them. I'm just going to isolate this real quick. Okay, so my extrusion didn't work too well, so let me maybe go in here. Just going to get rid of my kind of double extrusion that I had. So I'm going to grab all those, just going to hit delete on those. So I'm going to grab all these, I'm going to maybe just pull on the blue, just a touch. Actually no, let's go the whole way. So I'm just going to go down just a little bit there. Okay, let's double check that first. So we can see that it's bursting out at the bottom here, but when we do actually smooth that off, it might not be too bad. So let's bring this back. I'm going to go grab all the edges associated with this, and we can just do a little bit of a bevel on those. Maybe just a 0.3, maybe just do 0.1, take that down. Okay, and then we're going to want to do what we did with the other section. So we're going to want to straighten this edge off. So I think the easiest way to do that would be to drop a line down here. So that'll straighten that top edge, and then this corner, and then we'll drop one across here. Because we don't want that corner, we want that to curve with the rest. So now if we hit 3, let's grab both of these, isolate them. So now if we hit 3, we can see that we're sitting in there nicely all the way around, apart from here. And the reason for that, let's bring in our wireframe. Okay, so the reason for that is just the extrusion that we've added here. So maybe we could pull that in this direction around here instead. So just adjust that about in there ever so slightly. Okay, so I'm fairly happy with that. So let's maybe grab them. Let's take all the elements here. We could probably put these on a layer just to make it much easier. Let's just bring these here and grab those. Okay, so let's maybe apply some materials here. So I'm going to drop the same Lambert on there that we have on the rest, so we can see that that's merging in quite nicely. And maybe I'll just, for now, I'll drop the chrome on that section there. Let's maybe take these and just pull them up a touch, because we do need to add some differentiation along here anyway, so that might be nice just to add to that. And we want to do the same with this on this side too. So we're going to go and grab all the edges to this. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm just going to pull on the green. I think that looks like a good idea. Let's just take this one and just add a bit more to that. Okay, and we're pretty much going to follow the exact same process again. So we brought that out here. Let's go and take that whole edge again. I'm going to hit Control E. I'm going to take that over here. And then just the same as before, we're going to straighten that off too. Basically just bring that to meet that rear portion there. Okay, so we have a little bit of clipping here, and that's just because of the location of some of these. So maybe what we could do is grab this edge here, and maybe do the same for those. We'll just bring those up a touch. No. Okay, do something like that. That's looking okay. We'll go and we'll grab all of these faces again. Let's maybe just grab them manually. Let's hit Control E. And I'm just going to pull those straight in to a similar distance as we did with the other one there. And then let's hit Edit Mesh. Let's extract that. Okay, so we've got the same kind of plan here. We want to do roughly the same thing. Let's maybe take these and drop them down in there. Okay, maybe something like that. Just so it's intersecting. I think with each of these, we want to grab all of those and we want to pull those up a touch. Maybe take that one back a little bit. Okay. Just going to push those back. I'm just trying to get a nice consistent edge as we run around here as well from that angle. That's looking good. Okay, and then we've got the same kind of idea with this one too. So we're going to go and grab some loops. I'm fairly happy with the kind of dynamic here, so let's go and we'll drop those in here. There's no real edges like we have over here, so I don't think we need to reinforce anything. But we do want to do the same over here, so we do want the top one to have a little bit of an angle to it, and then we want these lower ones to have a touch of an angle too. So we'll drop those in like that. I'm just going to hit 3. So we can see that we've got a nice straight bit at the bottom, we've got that nice curve into the top there. Let's go and we'll drop a loop on the outside too. Okay, So that's looking really nice as it's coming around there. Let's grab this one, take all those edges. I'm going to hit Control E, and let's do the same. Let's just pull that down on the blue. I'm not going to go so far, just a touch. Okay, I'm going to grab all the edges again. Same plan, we're going to bevel. Just a touch. Maybe 0.2 this time. And then with our insert edge loop, we're going to drop a loop all the way around that top edge and then double it up down here. Yeah, so again we can see that that's flowing around there quite nicely. And then just the same as the other side, we've got this little bit of an extrusion here which we're going to want to just take up. Take that up in there. Okay, so that's looking quite nice. Let's go and drop in the same materials again so it kind of merges in nicely. So we're going to go for our default Lambert in here, and then I've got my chrome one to just go in there for now. Okay, so that's looking quite nice. We do have a bunch of ridges that go along down here. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like about 13 ridges that run down here. So let's bring in, we maybe not do the full 13. But we can see how this merges in. I think we maybe want, no, I think we'll leave that, that'll be okay. So that's kind of like the starting ridge. This is the second, well, the final ridge there. So let's bring in a brand new cube. And we're just going to populate this with new cubes. We're not going to worry too much. Do something like that. Okay. So looks like we're going to be nice and straight because we did scale all that off straight before. So let's maybe go and we bring this, and it looks like we want to be starting at the front there. And it looks like we also want to be inserting an edge loop about at the back where that line is. And then let's go and take this all the way to the rear, along with everything else. Okay. Take that edge down. I think I want a little bit more. Sometimes with 3D models it's nice to just exaggerate things a little bit just so that we can see it a little better. So we'll bring that up just a little bit higher than it probably is on the real car. Okay. It looks like we're probably going to want to bevel this. Let's actually, yeah, let's bevel this. So we'll grab this edge here. So I'm just going to take this whole edge. Let's go for a bevel. Maybe something like that, just 0.1 and then 3 segments. And then let's take every edge. Okay. Take all of these. Let's maybe take all of those. Okay, and let's go for a little bevel on this too. Maybe just 0.2 and 2, just so it's looking fairly nice and smooth. And then we're going to want to uniformly bring these across. So maybe like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it was 13, so I'll grab these ones here. Okay, so I think that is kind of what we're going to be wanting to look at here. So let's maybe start to distribute these a little bit better. what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause the video here. I'll get these distributed and then we'll bring back in a second. Okay, so I brought in my duplicate special here. I've played with a couple of the amounts inside here, and I've come up here with translate of 0.810 and a number of copies 12, and I'm doing this on a copy rather than an instance. And then when I hit apply here, it looks like we're going to be in a decent position for all of these, which is quite good. So we've got them along that one axis there, looking quite nice. So I am going to want to obviously move these up, and I'm just going to do these kind of one by one, and I just want to kind of try and find the same rough heights as we go along, because we do have obviously a little bit of curvature to this. Okay. So we're just wanting this to be nice and smooth as we go along. I think for the most part they're looking okay. We do want to drop these ones, it looks like. Just going to bring in my wireframe just to kind of help me gauge it a little bit better. And like I said, we are sitting a little bit higher, but just because we want to get that contrast, it might not show up so much. Obviously it's going to be behind glass as well, so we want to make sure we get that extra contrast. So it is sometimes good in 3D modeling just to exaggerate some things. So bring those down there, that's looking good. And then we want these to kind of run around, matching like this edge here as it goes. So let's go ahead and take these in. Okay. Okay, so I think that's looking okay. And then I'm going to grab all of these here. Just going to grab every single one. Okay, let's just maybe combine those together. Oh. Alright guys, we're back. I don't know if you guys get the same problem, but I always crash whenever I merge instances together. Luckily, well, copies. If I ever do a duplicate special, I always end up crashing. But luckily Maya's got a really decent autosave function. Okay, so I'm going to straighten all those off and just drop those to the back too. And then what we can also do is grab our hypershade, and again I'm going to just assign my basic darker lambert to that. Okay, so we can see now that we've got those ridges running along the bottom, just like the real thing. So it's looking really nice so far in terms of the main kind of markup. Now I think all we really have left is the main kind of lighting sections, and they both look exactly the same. So obviously we're just going to need to make one, and then we can duplicate the two together. But I think what we also have is we do have some details down on this side here. We can see that we've got a little bit of a gap on our example. So but there isn't a gap in the real car. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab all these points that are sitting furthest to the back here. I'm actually going to bring those in, so it's all these inner points. I'm going to bring all these in so that we can't see through them. Just grab those ones up there. Let's do the ones at the top too. I'll bring those down all the way back there. And then we'll do the same with these ones. We'll take those down too, like so. Okay, so that's just going to mean for us that that's going to cover that section around that back, so it's not going to be an issue. I've still got some gaps. It's not a problem if we do overlap in there. So now when I hit 3, we can see that we've got some gaps inside there. Well, we have no gap inside there, so when we actually put this together, it's going to have a nice little contrast in there. We do have some like little fins, but I'm going to do these as separate boxes again. So let's just bring these in here, and I'm trying to see, it looks like there's maybe 3. let's just take this down in size. Okay. And I'm going to leave some thickness to this, so I'm going to have the rear of this go all the way to the back there. Let's maybe take that in. Let's try and place it roughly where it is, so it is about at this bend here. Don't want it to be quite that thick. Okay. Bring that there. Okay, so we do have some little fins up the side, something like that. Let's maybe take this top edge and push that in. Okay, so I think like that. I'm just going to bevel these front edges. Just a little bit. Something like that. And I'm going to hit Control D. Like I said, I think we have 3 of these in total. So maybe pop the third one just up here. Okay. And then just shuffling these around again so that they just kind of fit in that area there. Let's maybe bring this one a bit further forward. Okay, and then I'm going to hit Control D and let's go and drop one of these in the center of the two. And again, just trying to find the same rough location on both sides. Let's grab all of those. And do something like that. Okay, so that's looking good. Let's grab these. And I'm going to combine these two. Actually, looks like this one I want to drop it a touch. Okay, so I'll combine those, and then again let's get our darker lambert applied. Okay, so we can see that because it's behind the glass, as long as the kind of shape is there to it, we're going to be looking good. So I think for the most part this is looking really nice. We've got our ridges and things inside there. Let's just go back, just grab everything here. Maybe not the glass, take all of this. Yeah, I think so for the most part we're looking okay. So the next section actually looks like it's quite complicated. I don't know how much of this I can see in my front view, so let's maybe isolate the selection here. Okay, so we can only really see what's going on these in basic blocks. We can kind of see some information in the top, which is good. So we can kind of see where the path runs around for those. So I think what we'll do with these is we'll maybe create them from a plane. But I'll probably save that for the next episode. So I think we should hopefully be able to get that done in the next episode. And then it'll just be a case of duplicating and scaling it down as well. And then once we've done that, I think we'll probably just have one more episode after that. And then in that episode, we'll be looking at maybe just finishing off the fins back here, adding last detail to the rear lights, maybe the reversing camera. And I don't think there's anything else that we really need to worry about. It'll just be a case then of getting everything smoothed off. And then rendered. Oh, we do have this section up here as well, so we'll have like one final episode after the next one, maybe, just to get everything kind of finalized and finished. So we're looking really good now, guys, so hopefully yours are looking the same. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.